The BS Report is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects.
First of all,
This is the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
it might be cool, I don't know. And if it's not, I don't
The
care.
BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons works for ESPN. He's also named the sports guy, and he writes a comical sports column. He must be a popular dude.
The BS Report.
It's got a real dirty sound, like a rusty steak knife cutting through a well-aged steak.
Now.
Here's Bill Simmons.
Welcome to BS Report, Part 2 of the NBA Over-Under podcast. One of the great American traditions. Right up there with Halloween, Labor Day. I don't know. What are great American traditions?
Hot dogs on the 4th.
Hot dogs on the 4th. Oh. I love hot dogs.
Turkey on the 27th.
See, are you a turkey hot dog guy or no?
I like all kinds of hot dogs.
I do too.
I like them in all their forms, varieties, shapes, flavors.
You know what? Because my wife obviously buys like healthy hot dogs like
for
that.
kids,
and it's like, yeah. For me, there's really no difference in what the hot dog is. I just like putting mustard on it.
Yeah, I love it.
So at that point, it was like, once you put mustard on it, it's all going to taste the same.
Yeah, as long as it's hot off the grill.
Yeah.
That's the key.
I think I'm a little burnt, too. Speaking of burnt, the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, we're jumping right in.
Yeah, we're jumping right in.
What
Our
about,
first team.
I mean, honestly, let's set a little bit of context. This is 2012-2013, the Bill Simmons redemption year.
Because you booted me last year.
Well, a couple years in a row.
2 in a row, yeah.
A couple of years in a row.
Yeah,
I mean, you're a TV personality, an
Apparently.
NBA expert. You should be incented.
I am incented.
Do a little better.
I'm properly incentivized.
All right, good.
We did the East, and our two locks that we agreed on were Atlanta over 42.5, Toronto over 33. We disagreed on Boston. I had the over, you had the under of 50.5.
Yep.
We disagreed on Orlando. You had the over, I had the under 24.5, and we disagreed on Philly. You had the over 46.5. I had the under 40. I picked them to win 41 games, and I made such a compelling case that you actually almost started crying. I actually thought tears welled in your eyes. You were oh my God, I'm just getting humiliated here.
I put a lot into Andrew Bynum.
You really did. You and all the chips came to the table. Speaking of moving the chips all into the table, the Dallas Mavericks, our first team.
Wow.
They won the title last year. They decided
2 years ago now.
2 years ago now.
Yeah.
They decided they didn't need Tyson Chandler, that they wanted to keep their options open for the summer of 2012. They did not get Dwight Howard. They did not get Darren Williams. They decided to basically keep the options open for one more year.
Yes. They
did a bunch of one-year signings of people that have floated around the league, shall we say, a little bit.
Some floaters.
And I wasn't crazy about this team before Dirk Nowitzki hurt his knee and is now out for at least 6 weeks.
Well, I didn't need to know to have my opinion of this team. I didn't need Dirk to hurt his knee right now.
I still might have gone under without the Dirk knee injury.
Well, I just didn't trust his health this year.
Yeah.
I don't
so you were
trust his health
expecting
in general.
anything.
So
yeah.
it could have been he hurt his knee and he's out 6 weeks at the beginning of the season, or it's Christmas time and he's tired. And I just think we're the window, the Dirk window, is approaching the close. That's on Dallas.
Here's the problem with Dirk compared to how some of these other athletes age. He's a 7-foot guy.
Yes.
And structurally, it's like the way that he played. I would argue was more debilitating for your body than somebody who just runs up and down the court or shoots jump hooks, something like that. Like Dirk always had to work so hard to get his points.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, he's
basically a 7-foot perimeter guy.
It's important. His footwork is really important to him, which puts a real premium on
footwork, driving.
Yeah, I know. That's right. The drive and stop, the drive, the pull up,
drive and stop,
all the turnaround, the bump to create space.
Not a conventional career. So I really don't know. Like, is it just going to end right away? Is it like I don't feel like he can be like a Steve Nash type where like Steve Nash could play to his 45. I don't even know.
Because of how he takes care of himself and his style of play.
A point guard style play, like.
I mean, there's a speed thing with Steve
Nash.
Think
how many people beat up Dirk every year, like the way people defended him, and and I just wonder. You know.
Right. The miles all at once gonna arrive. Now let's look at the composition of this team. So point guard is Collison.
who really like Indiana, just like George Hill more.
That's where Indiana came out on it.
And Collison's a guy that anytime he's gotten a ton of minutes, he's played well. I didn't mind that move for them.
Shooting guard is O.J. Mayo,
who I've always liked. I was a huge O.J. Mayo defender for years and years. Always wanted the Celtics to trade for him. Bottom line, he sucked last year. And he was terrible in the playoffs, and he's been terrible in any playoff series that he's been in. And I was really disappointed. Like, just going to those Clipper games, I wanted him to be better.
Yeah.
And he stunk.
Yeah, he stunk. Small forward Sean Marion.
Matrix.
Right. I mean, what's there to say at this point in his career? Power forward Dirk and center Chris Kaman.
Is there anybody else?
Well, Elton Brand's in the mix.
Elton Brand.
Vince Carter's in the mix.
Is it wrong that I like the way Elton Brand played in the Celtics playoff series last year? I thought he was fairly effective.
He was effective all season long.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
good defensive
he made a
player.
Good contribution.
Smart.
He was just overpaid. That's
good
all.
veteran. Yeah. Now he's underpaid.
Now he's appropriately paid. Perhaps.
Vince, I locked out on about 4 years ago.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about with him. And
Bouba's already hurt.
They did re-sign Delonte, and Delonte is going to play for them.
Listen, we don't need to rehash the roster. We're both going under.
Agreed, we're going under.
I'm making it a lock.
Oh!
Yeah. Unless you disagree?
No, because
they're not going to go 45 and 37.
I just don't like them going 45 and 37.
All right, well, I'm going to make it a tentative lock. We can always change our minds.
That's a good idea.
Mark Cuban, quickly. Won the title, so you get the 5-year grace period. Decided not to defend the title. Let Chandler go. Chandler's an asset. Got nothing for him, basically, except the illusion of cap space to potentially get people that he ended up didn't get it. I mean, let's just say he re-signs Chandler, right?
Yes.
So, a year later, when Dwight's getting shopped, they have a chance to get Dwight in a 3-way.
Why? Because Chandler is an asset.
They'd have Chandler like 3 years left at $40 million or something like. It's a little like the Jeremy Lin thing. Like, when you're letting an asset go, that means you can't even turn that asset into anything later. It's gone. That's it. And it's so hard to get assets in the NBA.
Part of the rationale, I think, from what I recall having read about it at the time, is they anticipated something with the new collective bargaining agreement that was going to re-sign Tyson was going to hamstring them in some way that they just found.
But at the very least, they could have run it back for one more year and then just said, instead of taking the chance that they might be able to get Howard or Darren Williams, they could have run the title defense back with Tyson. Even though I think we all agree they got a little bit lucky in 2011. They caught Miami at the right time. Their team got hot at the right time. Like, a lot of things went right for them. I just feel like they could have traded Tyson. It's the same thing with the Knicks. Like, yeah, fine, sign Jeremy Lin for a year, and then a year from now you'll be able to flip him.
Well, the other thing...
Would your team have traded for Tyson Chandler instead of the freaking Okafor or Ariza poop package?
I don't...
Would you have taken Tyson Chandler for 3 years?
It's not appropriate to talk about what
you would have, though.
Done, of course. Here's the other thing,
Would you have traded JaVale McGee for him?
Yes. What do you mean?
That's the part I don't get. Is like, everyone's like, oh no, well the Titans. It's like, yeah, you just let a top 30 guy in the league who's a starting center in the Olympic team, you just let him go for nothing. You didn't even get anything for him.
The other thing about letting Tyson go, though, if I'm trying to defend it, is they knew that Dirk wasn't going to get a break. He didn't get a break. He did the Germany team. And it seems like he's still paying a physical price for that, for not getting, the post finals. He'd never played that many games.
He sold his soul, basketball soul, for the title.
And I think he made the right decision. But if part of your calculus is Dirk coming into this, any season that occurs following a lockout, because the owners knew they were going to do the lockout, was going to be this highly compressed thing that was not going to be very conducive at all to a guy in a physical situation like Dirk, then I'm grasping a little, because I don't agree with the thinking, but.
You never give up on a team that won the title.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with
especially
you.
that. And I thought it was interesting that Kidd, instead of re-signing there, Kidd almost saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
It was the burning house.
Right.
Kidd was like, is that smoke? I'm going to pack a duffel bag and I'm out of here.
Well, and what made it easy is like, Manhattan. Yeah, I like Manhattan.
I can do that.
Good. Yeah, that's a good city.
Yeah. Last thing, this is like a very obscure thing, but Would you really amnesty Brendan Haywood so you could sign Chris Kaman, basically? So you're paying $16 million this year for Chris Kaman?
Was it that linear?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the amnestying Haywood all by itself is easily understood and defensible. I don't have any issue with it. I still take issue with the contract. You made fun of the contract at the point that it was entered into. You know, everybody's so much smart. You know, all the Sabre stuff and.
Well, this is a classic case of just ask the fans and the team who watched him.
Oh, God.
I thought maybe you could say if they don't do that contract, maybe he swung one of those finals games somehow. I don't remember.
He didn't.
I remember he played some time, a little bit, didn't he?
He couldn't beat out Tyson Chandler. They both came to the team at the same
Jan
time.
Mahimny was playing.
Yeah.
He must have done something that year. All I'm saying is, like, they won the title that year, so it couldn't have been the worst signing in the world.
Okay, that's fine. He has a ring.
Whatever. Random tangent. Denver, 51 over/under. Now, John Hollinger projected them to win 61 games, which I just thought was staggering.
I don't think 61, but I definitely like
That's
the over.
where you readjust the computer program like a tiny bit. You're like, that, something bad happened here.
I definitely like the over. I
like the over as well.
I mean, this would be one where I would be willing to consider a lock because I think they're like a 56, 57. They're pretty significantly over 51 wins. Ooh. This team.
I think it's
composed
low 50s.
Okay. Well, I mean, they
go
just
low 50s.
They're so deep and they're so much smarter now. They have
it's a brilliantly put together team.
Yeah.
They should be very proud of this team, and even like the Corey Brewer, like just sneaking him in there.
Right.
And they did a lot of that stuff. You know, they gambled on just guys that I've always liked. I still can't believe the Knicks. They traded for Carmelo and just dumped Corey Brewer after that. And meanwhile, they had nobody on that team that year, remember?
Yes,
I've always liked Corey Brewer.
Right.
I love Fareed.
He knows how
too.
to play defense right. I mean, this is the thing. Like, look at this team.
I do think they will miss Al Harrington a tiny bit, though.
Yeah, he
did, played well for them last
and he
year.
brought some like fourth quarter like kind of stability, that veteran stability that you need in the fourth quarter.
He was really good last year.
But Iguodala has that. They replaced it. It's I would take Iguodala over Harrington.
Crunch time worries me a little for them.
Why?
In a big spot, if they're at Oklahoma City down 1 with 2 minutes left.
Gallinari is going to shoot the basketball.
Gallinari,
count on it.
Well, or he'll just try to get to the basket. I think what he'll do
right.
is get to the basket. Or Ty Lawson will try. It's going to be one of those teams that they're going to just try to get to the basket when things go wrong. I also like, how many years in a row can Andre Miller still be good?
Another one. I think he's going to be
what
good
is he,
this year.
37?
I don't know, but he's going to be good. It's another veteran stabilizing presence.
JaVale McGee, a lot riding on him.
Wilson Chandler is on this basketball team. Wilson Chandler is
that was the only contract they signed that in. Like
he can play basketball.
I wouldn't have given him $39 million.
It doesn't. I mean, I feel like that's quibbling a little. But
well, and then the sneaky stealth guy is Kostakufis.
He can play. I mean, they're
now all those per minute guys translate really well when you look at the advanced metrics. But he was something like 5.5 rebounds in 14 minutes a game.
It's a good number.
That's like, yeah.
It's impressive.
But even like, forget the numbers for a second. Just watching them, anytime you watch them, you go, Jesus, this is cool. Like, the hell? Yeah. This guy's like a good rebounder. What the hell's happening?
So you're thinking in the low 50s for Denver?
It worries me a little that so many people are on them. And they're a young team that really hasn't done anything other than take a old Lakers team to 7 games.
Okay.
It worries me a little bit that the expectations are so high.
Well, I don't have any. I mean, we're not talking about the postseason. We're just talking, can they win more than 51 games?
Well, I think they're in a tough conference too.
They are in a tough conference.
But they caught a big break. Dallas looks like they're wiped out.
Yeah.
I have them. I think they're a 3 seed. I'm sorry, a 4 seed.
Well, a 4 seed in the West means they're probably going to have to win more than 51 games.
Yeah.
So
I have them 53 wins.
Okay. You're not ready to call that a lock?
No. Well, let me think about it.
Okay.
Golden State, the over is 36, and foolishly people have bet on the over. That is a minus 130 line. And listen, fellas, everybody out there, people who watch basketball, we've done this dance with the Warriors franchise before. The history is always going to win. History's going to win out. It just is. And especially you have a team that's built around X Factor, Stephen Curry's ankles.
Yeah.
It's built around Andrew Bogut's mangled elbow and his feet. It's built around David Lee staying healthy. It's built around Harrison Barnes being able to deal with the fact that in the pros you can't take nights off. It's Klay Thompson who's doing great in the last 2 months of the season when they're tanking, now with a bullseye on him as he's going against these big teams. And on national televised games, and the announcer saying Klay Thompson's really like. There are things now that I don't know.
Well, having said all that, I like the over.
All right, we disagree.
We do. The reason I'm
going to bet on the history.
I think that they are in that 37-38 range. It's not a huge over. It's a pretty small over.
You might be right. If all those guys stay healthy and they're going to be a lot better defensively, I get it. I get the case for him. I'm betting on the history.
It's the Bogut as a transformative impact presence on that team.
When did Bogut become Bill Russell, by the way? I know he's a very good defensive
stretches,
center.
Right? He's had stretches of pretty amazing.
But people have been
defense.
writing about him like he's Bill Russell, and I've seen him in action.
he's
During the Fear the Deer season, he was definitely really good, but he's also somebody that cannot score unless he's 3 feet from the basket. And then you have, next to him, David Lee, who's the worst power forward in the league defensively.
Defensively, yes. I'll
tell you another thing. I think they're going to miss Darrell Wright.
I agree with you. I think they're going to miss Darrell Wright, too.
They're putting a lot of eggs in the Brandon Rush basket. He was pretty good last year.
He had a great stretch, best stretch of his career.
He did. I don't trust him for some reason.
I just think they're 37-38 wins.
Right.
I'm not going crazy.
I'm betting on the history.
Yeah,
who's their backup point guard?
Oh, Jarrett Jack. Competent backup point guard.
Oh, he is competent, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, the problem is he's going to get a ton of time as Steph gets hurt, so,
I get the case. Listen, I wish we didn't disagree on that one because it makes me nervous, but the history usually wins out with that team.
I understand.
Houston Rockets, 29.5.
I like them way under.
Yeah, I do too.
I can't even come up with the theory for 29.5 wins. I mean, look at this roster.
It's young.
Do you want me to read it?
Here's what worries me with them. I think if they fall behind early, if you're just talking over-under, if they get off to a relatively slow start or whatever, this is a team that's going to be making trades and trying to pick up picks, and they got Kevin Martin a contract year. And
I'm a person that actually believes in Jeremy Lin. I don't think that he's going to have a huge sort of there's going to be a regression with him.
Yeah.
But what I think instead, I worry about his ability to stay on the court for.
How about this? His knee's still not 100%.
Well, I didn't know about that.
He's still not healthy.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that.
It's been written about. He had that knee injury 7 months ago. He's not healthy yet.
Yeah.
It was a torn meniscus.
The backup point guard is Sean Livingston.
Well, he knows a lot about knee injuries.
I'm not laughing at
it. Worries me that Jeremy Lin's not healthy. That would be you could have talked me into this team. Asic is going to be a really good have the same kind of defensive impact for them that Bogut's going to have for Golden State.
Sure.
There are cases to be made, but they have so many young players.
Are you ready to? Are you willing to call that a lock?
I think it's a lock.
I think it's a lock.
Yeah.
We're calling it a lock.
Sorry, Dork Elvis.
But he would say, this is not the book that I intend for you to read. There are a lot of chapters I'm still writing. I think Dork Elvis would say.
I wouldn't have traded Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, I mean, it was part of it. He had a vision. He has a point of view on that.
I do like the Terrence Jones pick.
Me
they
too.
had to take. I liked all three of their draft picks.
Me too.
I think Kevin Martin is going to have a big season.
I agree.
He's in a contract year, and I think somebody will trade for him at some point, and they'll get something for him. But it's going
to be great to watch Royce White.
We've seen this happen too many times. A team, they're going like New Orleans last year.
Yeah.
As soon as you kind of get a sense of, we're probably hedded in the top 5 anyway of the lottery, then you just make it happen.
Let's lock it in.
Clippers, 49.5. What do you have?
You're here, so you have the benefit of all of the talking heads and the radio and the paper and everything here. I like them a smidge under.
Okay.
A smidge, like 48 or so. And mainly not because of anything other than the front office. I just think what they did this offseason at the coach and GM thing was such a disaster that I think it's going to have a secondary impact on the team, and notwithstanding the talent on this team, and the talent is, you can make a pretty credible case that this is a team that could win in the low 50s, but I just think
no way
that the lack of stability at the front end of the organization translates. It costs you games. It costs you games.
I'm comfortably under at 45 wins.
Wow.
And you could even talk me into going lower. I don't like what they did this summer. I think they have too many guys. They do not have the right coach to juggle that many guys. I tweeted this over the weekend. Chris Paul and Blake Griffin play 75 minutes combined per game. So that leaves 165 minutes for everyone else on your team. They're not going to be able to split the minutes up. No, this team's not going to be happy. And on top of it, they almost have these clusters at positions, you know?
There are some
good
guys.
They have Caron Butler, Lamar Odom, Matt Barnes, and Grant Hill.
Yep.
You can't.
They do have all
those guys. How are you going to split up minutes with those 4 guys?
Yeah.
You have Jamal Crawford and Chauncey Billups.
Yes.
And you have Chris Paul and Eric Bledsoe. Like, it's just not enough minutes.
Let me offer this. Let me see if this makes any sense. Is Billups and what he brings to the table in leadership and court vision and sense and the stabilizing impact that he delivers, can that offset the Vinny Del Negro instability?
No.
Okay.
I'll tell you another thing. Reggie Evans played a lot of minutes for this team in the playoffs last year.
He did. Surprising.
And he left. He went to the Nets.
Yeah.
They signed Ronnie Turiaf, I guess. And they're hoping Odom is going to give some of those minutes. I don't think Odom will be in the NBA in 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
I just don't think he wants to play basketball
Think
anymore.
he's done with basketball?
I think he'd
rather be on TV?
I think he is somebody that destroys the locker room now. And it's ironic because he's one of the best guys in the league, or used to be. I think he's a sideshow, and I don't think he wants to play basketball anymore.
Well, it's clear
he's clearly out of shape, and everything he said is said. Everything I've heard.
He's a sensitive soul. We know that. That's been established beyond reasonable doubt.
I feel bad for the guy. He's had a horrible life. He's had a lot of tragedies. Had bad things happen to him, but I just think he's done.
End of his
he's done as a basketball player.
Okay.
And if he doesn't help them, that really hurts them.
Yeah, they need.
They're small. They can't play defense.
Yeah, they
Who
are.
plays the go to that
they
list?
They are small.
Who's guarding the rim on that team? Don't tell me DeAndre Jordan.
I'm not.
Don't tell me Blake.
It's not Blake. I know.
And then you have the whole stylistic thing between Blake and Chris Paul, and the fact that Blake and DeAndre want to run and Chris Paul wants to walk it up. Those guys don't even like playing with him.
What guys don't like playing with him?
They don't like playing with him.
Who?
The young guys.
The young guys don't like playing with.
I don't think they're crazy about
Paul?
playing with Chris. No.
Wait a minute.
I don't think so.
Chris, you have him on that first name basis. He's Chris to you.
He's Chris.
You got it like that with him.
They want to run.
The kids don't like Chris.
They want to run. They want to like dunk and play over the rim and do that kind of thing.
Well, he's got the ball.
He doesn't want to do that. He wants to win. Chris Paul wants to like grind out wins.
That's a sensible point of view for.
I watched it last year.
I think he's earned it.
That team did not mesh that well last year.
Wow.
Everyone forgets.
I can't believe this.
I'm just telling you what I saw. I went to the games.
They made the second round of the playoffs.
Well, big deal. They had 2 of the best 15 players in the league.
And one of them got hurt.
I don't have a good feeling about this Clippers season.
I mean, I took the under anyway because I took a front office under.
In round 1, they beat a Memphis team that was not itself.
Okay.
And it took them 7 games to do so. And then in round 2, they got annihilated by the Spurs. They get annihilated.
They did.
They get annihilated.
Oh, that was the organizational dominance. That was, they were up against everything that the Spurs bring to bear. Superior everything.
I don't have a good feeling about this Clippers season. I think it's going to be, I would use the word unhappy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Which means the Chris Paul drama starts right now. The drama starts this moment.
That's a legitimate thing.
Yeah. Where is he going?
He's a free agent next summer, and if you look at all the guys of who might leave,
yes,
he's the most likely candidate.
That's not good for the over.
I'm not saying he's going to leave. I'm just saying
it's not good for the over. It's not good for 50.
It's a cheap team that on the one hand had no problem giving Blake Griffin a gigantic extension and had no problem signing free agents and doing all that stuff. And then on the other hand, lowballed their coach and was too cheap to pay a GM. By the way, they've sold out every game.
Again, they
If
deserve
you can
to.
sell out all your season tickets before the season starts, you're way ahead of the game.
So they're way ahead of the game.
The fact that they won't spend money, Chris Paul and Vinny Del Negro were their GM this year. Those were the guys that were recruiting people.
They got a pretty good team on paper. But you're hearing it right here. Skepticism.
I have a
at
lot
this
of
table.
skepticism.
Skepticism in the BS Report studios.
We'll save the Lakers for last.
Yeah.
Memphis 49. It'll be somewhere between 45 and 50. Part of me wonders if their window is closed. I don't know for sure.
They're right. This is it, right? This is the make or break season.
They had their run 2 springs ago.
The question is it going to make a difference to their win total? That's a question to me, because honestly, I don't have a pick right now. We're talking right now. I'm going to make my pick as we talk it through.
Here's the thing.
Is
50 and 32 is a lot to ask.
Is O.J. Mayo, his
That hurts
departure
him.
as a regular season proposition, as a win total proposition? I mean, that's kind of where I'm at.
It hurts them, and they still don't have a backup point guard.
But they
right?
got back Darrell Arthur. No, they do. It's Jared Bayless.
So they don't have a backup point guard.
I like Jared Bayless. He can fill up the score sheet. He's a pretty efficient scorer.
He hasn't had one good moment in the league. He literally hasn't. He hasn't one good thing has not happened to him in his career yet.
They're getting back Darrell Arthur.
I was excited that they signed my man Hamed Haddadi. I was rooting for the Celtics to get him.
Why
He's one of
did you
my favorite bench players. I think he's good. Every time he comes in, I'm in on Haddadi.
He's still making
Big thing for them
contributions
is
for them.
Healthy Zebo.
Healthy Zebo, healthy Gay, healthy Tony Allen.
Yeah. There's reasons to think they'll go over 50.
They
I just
generate
feel
a
like,
ton of turnovers.
yeah.
They're excellent at generating turnovers.
And also one of the few teams that can go big. One of the few teams that could look at Pau Gasol and Dwight Howard and say, okay, here's Zebo and Marc Gasol. Like,
I'm gonna do over.
Really?
I like 50
Oh,
for
man.
them. I'm doing it. I don't care. Yeah, you're right that it's 45 to 50.
I hate disagreeing with you on this because
Why?
I don't feel strongly enough about it. I guess we're disagreeing. Minnesota, Memphis. I got to be honest with Memphis. I was a big believer in them last year, and I feel let down by them. And I think now I'm just burned.
I don't see what the point is.
I'm
Why
burned.
would you feel
I thought they were going to make
burned?
the finals last year.
That was not. They weren't. Zebo got hurt. He tore his MCL.
I'm hurt. Hurt by how it turned out. I don't like being wrong. I'm competitive. I'm a weirdo.
Yeah, but that wasn't because of any wrongheadedness about the situation. They couldn't keep the health.
I can't believe they couldn't beat the Clippers. I mean, they had a 27-point lead in one of those games.
That's pretty.
I was watching the Clippers this weekend. They fell behind by 16 as always, and it's just they're just always going to be falling behind. I don't want to talk about them. Minnesota, the over/under was pulled because Kevin Love is out for at least 6 weeks. Rubio's out.
Yeah.
We thought
it was 39.5, and I really liked the over.
For 39.5.
Yeah, I really liked the over for 39.5 before the Love injury.
It's weird. Like, I was reading ESPN Magazine's preview. They had Minnesota with winning 51 games. This is before the Love injury happened.
Who did?
ESPN the Magazine
did
picked
that,
Minnesota to finish third in the West with 51 wins.
Come
and I was
on.
just like dumbfounded. They
Come on.
had them ahead of the Lakers.
Well, what? Ricky Rubio.
Put them ahead of the Lakers.
When's Rubio playing again?
Not till at the All-Star break.
I mean, come on. What is this math? Who's doing the math? Put a call in.
I have.
51.
I think
Come
they're going to be
on.
right at that 39. I mean, somewhere between 38 and 42, depending on when Love comes back.
It's awesome to have Love in this space where he's legitimately a top 10 player in the league. And,
Would you trade
it hurts my no. Good God, no.
Love for Harden and Ibaka?
Yes. Why would Oklahoma City do that?
Why would they do that?
Yes, why would they do that?
Because it would cost less to pay Kevin Love than it would to pay James Harden and Serge Ibaka together.
But that means that Oklahoma City is giving up its only legitimate defensive-minded player. That doesn't make any sense for them.
They'd be making the decision to build around Kevin Love, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook, who are 3 of the best 12 players in the league.
I mean, it's compelling. I just don't think they could stop anybody. That commits them to a style of play that hasn't been.
Go and sign like Ronnie Brewer type people every year.
It means it puts a lot of pressure.
Would you do it if you're Minnesota?
I would only you hear the prism I think about that trade concept in is a playoff prism. That's the only prism that matters. And OKC is built to be playing in the conference finals for the next 7 years. You don't do anything to disrupt that. You sign Harden. That's the answer. You sign Harden and pay him. You wrote it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it doesn't make any sense at all to mess with it.
I'd have a 5-hour meeting if Kevin Love was on the table though. Kevin Love's on the table? Let's have a meeting. Let's get all our basketball guys. New Orleans. The over-under is 27.
So I'm.
But I should mention there was some action on the over, minus 125.
Yeah, I mean I like the over. I like the over.
Why do you like the over?
Because I think there are a bunch of professional basketball players on this team.
Would you like to name a couple of them?
I think Eric Gordon's a pretty good professional basketball player.
Okay.
I think that Ryan Anderson's a pretty good professional basketball player.
I agree.
I said a couple. There are a couple. I think Gravis Vasquez is an underrated, competent leader of a basketball team. I think Unibrow is put him down for the Rookie of the Year right now. There isn't any reason there isn't anybody coming up that's going to take it from him. Aminu is competent. He's competent. He's not a game changer, but he's meaningful. Maybe they get some out of Austin Rivers.
You really don't seem as confident as you did a minute ago.
No, 27 is a garbage number. 30 and 52 gets you to the over. This is a 30-win team for sure.
I have the over as well.
Okay.
I picked them to win 37 games. and I think New Orleans is going to be sneaky good this year. I really do. I think Davis is going to have an immediate transformative effect on that team, and I think he's one of those guys that even as a rookie, you put him on your team and you're guaranteed to win between 37 and 40 games no matter who he's playing with.
So part of why I can't get very excited about this New Orleans team and talking them up. I agree with you, by the way, that their ceiling could bump all the way up to 40 games. I'm still bitter over what the league did last year. I still have a bad taste in my mouth from the magic wand that the commissioner waved at the expense of every other team that was in a rebuilding mode last year.
Right. I
think it was completely inappropriate. It remains indefensible to me, and I think it's a travesty, and it continues to be a real credibility impairing kind of dynamic, right, where the team owned by the league got the number one pick in the draft, and they regarded it as an unfortunate coincidence. Oh, we wish it hadn't worked out that way.
Yeah.
You did it. You did it.
Yeah.
At the expense of every other franchise. The people in Cleveland are Dan Gilbert's going out and asking those people to put down deposits for season tickets. In Washington, Ted Leonsis is knocking on people's doors asking them to put down season tickets put down deposits for season tickets. The same is true in Charlotte. The same is true in Toronto. The same is true in Milwaukee. Everybody that's in anything like Sacramento, anything like a rebuilding kind of phase, the league produced a result. The league did it with this New Orleans franchise
in
at the
7
expense
months
of every other franchise. I mean, I'm getting.
We argued about this in the car on the way here, and I was saying that New Orleans dodged a bullet by that first trade not coming through, which in retrospect would have been a bad trade because they got Goran Dragic, who was going to be a free agent, Lamar Odom, Chris Kaman, and who was the fourth guy? Kevin Martin.
Martin, right.
And instead of that, they ended up getting a trade that Eric Gordon was the centerpiece. He was immediately hurt, so that helped them. It made them worse short term. It gave them the number 10 pick in the draft. It enabled them to bottom out and become number one. Like that, trade B was better than trade A. You're saying it's unfair because in a normal situation, trade A would have happened, except in this specific case, the league, who has a lot of experience with running a team, said, no, that's a bad trade. We can do better. and no other team has that luxury.
That's precisely
That's
the
your point.
That was my point.
You think it's unfair. You wish the Wizards had
That's right.
David Stern to come in and say, no, you can't trade for Trevor Ariza and Emeka Okafor.
Yeah.
This is idiotic.
You have a tremendous asset in this expiring contract with Rashard Lewis.
Yeah.
You're not getting enough back for it.
Yeah.
You need to at least get the number 10 pick from New Orleans as part of that deal.
I'm vetoing your trade.
That's right.
Right.
Yes.
So you think it's unfair? It makes you mad.
There's a history of egregious trades in the NBA that have been, trades that made other franchises furious.
Right.
The Pau Gasol trade remains a pretty controversial trade.
Right.
And that for the league to step in and create a whole dynamic for the franchise that was in this sale position, it's just too many unfortunate coincidences for me to be over it at this point.
A league that owned that team.
Yes.
When it shouldn't have. And they were hoping that it wouldn't become a problem. And in short order, it totally affected the Lakers, the Clippers, the number 1 draft pick. It ruined the Houston Rockets.
It ruined the Houston Rockets.
It ruined the Houston Rockets.
I mean, if
Daryl Morey lost his job, he could probably sue the league and say things would have been better for me if I had Pau Gasol on my team.
I think he could make a credible argument. I don't know that he could sue the league, but he certainly should. He could point a finger.
I think he should sue the league.
I tell you which finger I would point if I was him.
It'd be the middle one.
That would be the middle one.
So, the bottom line is it was one of the great rebuilds of all time. In 7 months, they went from this team. They had this guy who wanted to leave. They just moved fast. They made a trade. It would have been a bad trade. They got out of it. They made a much better trade. 6 months later, they won the lottery. And they end up with this guy who's like an automatic 40 wins coming out of the gate.
It's making me hot. There is steam coming out of my ears. I can't. Yeah, it was. Congratulations, league. It came at the expense of every other owner.
I would say he's one of the best owners. Kudos to David Stern.
Yeah, kudos.
Who can he take over next?
Congratulations, by the way.
Let's look at the list.
On cutting down on the chest bump time. I mean, way to step in.
That was important.
Gee, many Christmas. It's only the thing is for the fans' enjoyment. I mean, it's one of the handful of things that where the teams actually demonstrate some chemistry.
I will say that it was totally out of control.
What do you mean? What, the chest bump and all the rest of it?
There were intros where guys were doing they were bear hugging each other and they were reenacting wrestling scenes on the floor. They were so happy.
It was great.
But it's the games were starting at 7:45.
I mean, it's not baseball for Christ's sakes. It's not like the games are going 3.5 hours, 4 hours.
Here's my thing.
They're reasonable length games.
My issue with it is if you're going to do a time change, then really commit to it and also get rid of the stupid timeouts at the end of the second and fourth quarter at the 10-minute mark. Yeah. Get rid of those.
Right, the TV timeouts.
You can't get rid of those because you get money for those.
That's the money, I know.
So add those to halftime, make halftime longer.
It's ridiculous.
But, yeah, I agree with you. And the league really did weasel its way out of that. I should have mentioned that in my commissioner column on Friday.
Which?
The fact that the league owned its own team and made this controversial trade and ended up getting the number 1 pick. That was insane.
The league is so lucky. Congratulations. You're so good luck, good fortune. What bone fortuna.
I feel like my great grandkids are going to read about that trade and go, how is this legal?
They're going to say, what in the hell happened?
Yeah.
They're
what happened?
Say, did you paid $5 to go see one of these teams? You paid money to go see a league that runs itself like this?
You know what happened? The over for New Orleans.
The over for New Orleans.
I'm making that a lock. Lock it down.
Lock it down.
Unibrow.
That's a David Stern over. That's a David Stern over. Put it in the book.
Oklahoma City 60.5 over.
I mean, I'm going to quibble on the half, 60 and 22 rather than 61. I mean, I'm not going to argue it.
They're not going to win less than 60 games.
I can't come up with a narrative for how they're going to win less than 60.
The thing we forgot to mention with Anthony Davis was the fact that he was on that Olympic team. How great was that for him? I already liked his potential as a pro, but he also got to be in the Olympic team and play with those guys and play at such a high level and watch how those guys carried themselves. And there's no way that doesn't help him.
How many other number 1 picks in the draft of the past 5 years got to play
None of them.
Right.
It was great.
Yeah. Good for him. Good for New Orleans.
And I also think it helped Oklahoma City, and I think losing the finals helped. I think the fact that everybody likes this Lakers team helps.
The only thing that's going to
They're going to have a little FU edge.
I'm going to have to bet $5,000 on New Orleans Hornets owner. That's over. That's the only way I'm going to get over the bitterness that I feel about this whole thing.
Wow. I can't wager on NBA stuff this year, unfortunately. We like the over for Oklahoma City, right? Because they're not going to trade James Harden. That would be the only thing that worried me.
Well, we don't know the answer to it. Is it going to be resolved by Halloween? I wish if we were doing this on Halloween, we know the answer. I'm going to take the under because I think they're going to win. Because I think it's a fair hedge. It's a fair hedge.
We disagree.
I mean, the most it's going to be off by is a half game. Like they're going to go 60-22 or 59 and 23.
What are the odds of an FU season from Oklahoma City, in your opinion?
Not high.
Not high. Okay.
Not high. I think you're going to get a FU season out of Durant. I mean, it's pretty good for Durant as MVP this year, which is going to be, a typical kind of journalist-driven, narrative-driven thing. The MVP, by the way, it's LeBron.
It's LeBron.
As long as he's healthy.
LeBron
Same
is
thing, but it's LeBron.
The MVP of the league in my life. Phoenix, 33.5.
I love
Post-Nash.
The under.
You like the under?
Phoenix?
Interesting.
Who's any good on Phoenix?
I was thinking, I like their chemistry on the Phoenix team this year.
What?
Yeah, it's a good chemistry, guys.
What chemistry?
I like the chemistry on this team.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to go under, too. I was in the fence. You talked me to Dudley, Dragic.
You just like Dudley.
I do.
And he's likable.
I like JMC.
Yeah.
Dudley, Dragic. Who else is on that team that I like? Give me a couple more names. I like the goofy center.
Wesley Johnson, is that one of the guys that you like?
He's not on the list.
Michael Beasley, is he on your list?
Oh, I do like Bees.
In what capacity?
I think he's going to be good for them. Who else?
In what capacity?
Oh, Scola.
Yeah.
Scola was a hijacking.
I mean, the best.
They got Scola for 3 years, $13 million.
Again, another guy.
Another guy that your Wizards could have gotten.
I mean,
you guys could have gotten just amnesty Lewis and then immediately.
These are 2 pence my temple. Yeah, Scola, Brand, Darrell Wright. Yeah, and $20 million available cap wise.
I forgot they have Jermaine O'Neal. I'm going under. Jermaine O'Neal, who hurts his left wrist last year, halfway through the season, right? His left wrist.
Yes.
Decides he's done for the year. No, but he's going to keep cashing the checks.
Well, why wouldn't he?
He's going to but he's done for the year with his left wrist injury. Stops traveling with the team. He's right-handed. Couldn't put a splint on, Jermaine?
No.
Not. It's not like he's
rebounding and blocking shots. You can't put that other hand at risk.
At risk.
You're blocking shots.
We're paying him $6 million a year. Steamsville plays the whole year with plantar fasciitis. Jermaine O'Neal's like, my wrist hurts. Guys, good luck. Good luck in the playoff run. I wish you the best. He's the worst.
He's
really. I hope that.
You did not enjoy
I hope he has
time.
a losing season in the Suns because he's a loser and it'll fit in with him.
He is going to have a losing season for the Suns. Are we ready? You're not prepared to call that a lock though?
No.
Why don't?
It makes me so mad that Jermaine O'Neal didn't play with his injured left wrist. And you know what else? Celtics all hate him for it too. Yeah.
I don't think he cares.
I hate him. He would not.
I think he's got 6 million.
I bet Jermaine didn't get a playoff share.
I think he has 6 million. Don't give a shits.
Portland, 34.5.
So this is the thing, right? I was prepared with Portland because they were in that 37-38 range is where they open. I thought, oh God, I love this one. Give me this one. Let me sign me up. 34.5 is right on the edge. I'm still going under.
Okay.
I just don't like. A two-man team. The two-man team is Aldridge and Batum. That really, there's nothing else to get excited about, excited for.
Fair enough.
I could talk myself into 35 or 36 wins. It's not that hard. But I'm going to stick with my under. I'm going to stick at 34.
All right, soccer moms from Portland, my friends. I'm going way over.
Yeah.
I have them winning 41 games and being the 8th seed in the Western Conference playoffs.
I like it.
The Portland Trailblazers.
Let's hear it.
All right. First of all,
right. Go ahead.
a little nobody believes in us here. Everybody's writing him off. LaMarcus Aldridge, top 20 guy, right?
Right on the edge, yeah.
Batum.
Yep.
I think they struck oil with this Lillard kid.
Me too.
Have you seen him?
Yes, I really love him. I'm going to watch Portland.
I've single-handedly changed my opinion on him because this guy's fantastic.
He's
You
a
said
scorer.
Davis is the rookie of the year. I think it's up for grabs.
Nah, it's not up for grabs.
It's up for grabs.
It's not up for grabs.
If this kid averages like 19 points a game, it's not up for grabs.
It's not going to.
If he puts them in the playoffs over New Orleans, it becomes a discussion. All I'm saying is don't bet your life on Anthony Davis rookie of the year, because if this kid is as good as he's looked in the preseason,
he's looked great. I've enjoyed watching him. I'm going to watch Portland.
And they have some other guys I like in the team. The centers are the issue.
is that your professional?
Myers Leonard, a little raw. For me. And then who's the other one? Freeland?
Yes.
Well, also a little raw. I don't even know what color he is.
Oh, how about this? His
is he
first
white or
name
black?
begins with the J. What's J stand for?
Where's he from, Joel Freeland?
Oh, Joel. Are you sure it's Joel?
Joel?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what J stands for.
Who else is on this team?
J.J. Hickson was on the team, which I thought that was
I
a
like
pretty good
J.J.
pickup.
Hickson
Me too.
last year.
That was a nice, Sacramento, the dysfunction
Oh,
of Sacramento.
and Wes
they took
Matthews.
advantage. Wes Matthews.
I like Wes Matthews.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're like a 36 or 37 win team, and if that number had stayed 37-38, I really like the under, but
well, unless I can't add and couldn't figure out who the 8th playoff team is. Let's see. Denver, Lakers, Memphis, Oklahoma City, San Antonio. Yeah. So I have a spot. And that spot goes between Portland, New Orleans, and Dallas, and Golden State. And I really like Portland the most out of those 4 teams.
I think Dallas is going to win 43 or 44 games.
I know, but it's no fun to pick them. I'd rather pick Portland.
Okay, you can pick them. And that makes you.
Plus, I don't know
puts
when.
You back, get you your soccer mom harmony. That you were in disharmony last year.
I like their top 3
because you took under.
I think Lillard's going to be good right away. So I know I have a good top 3.
It's going to be interesting to watch. It's a team that's in transition that will be fun to watch because Batum and Lillard and Aldridge.
So crunch time.
Yep.
They play Aldridge at center.
Yep.
Who is? Well, give me one more rebounder they can throw
Probably
out
Hickson.
there. Hickson.
Probably Hickson.
Webster. I mean, not Webster. Matthews. Batum.
And Lillard.
I kind of like that crunch time team. I thought Hickson played well for them last year.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. And
I'm
he can
okay
block
with that
shots.
crunch time.
It's okay.
I'm in on Portland.
It's okay. You're good.
41.
We disagree. That's fine.
We disagree on that one,
It's
too.
good for
Wow.
us to disagree.
Sacramento is 30. We saw them last night. It is a team that I can't emphasize this strongly enough. It's just horribly put together.
This is the thing.
It's one of the dumbest rosters I've ever watched, and you and I were both in disbelief when we left at halftime.
I deducted 2 or 3 wins, kind of notionally, from the Clippers this year because of front office dysfunction.
Yeah.
I would like to deduct 7 or 8 wins from the Sacramento team, but I still like the over.
Oh my God! House.
I'm taking the over.
Ah, that's so stupid.
Well, I think they have the talent to win 38 games. This is the thing.
They're like a pickup basketball team from hell.
It's grotesque. It's a grotesque.
Can you imagine being
conceived team
on that team?
Well, but there are guys that I like on the team. That's what's so crazy.
Oh, listen. I'm individually. We were talking last night. Aaron Brooks is a good basketball player. I don't know why he's on that team or when they got him or why he's not on a good team, but.
Isaiah Thomas and Aaron Brooks, that's a pretty good, point guard situation.
Yeah. We were dying. Aaron Brooks and Marcus Thornton were playing at the same time, and there's a chance they might get in a fist fight over who gets the ball.
Well,
really like...
What would be funny is when Marcus Thornton starts bringing the ball up because he knows he wants to get
It's the only chance. Yeah, if you get it over half court, you get to shoot. But what's funny is they had that team last year. It was constructed like that, where it was like whoever gets it over half court gets to shoot. And now they have Aaron Brooks, who's the all-time shoot-first point guard. If he has it, it's going up.
I just think on a pure talent basis...
And Thomas Robinson shoots every time he gets it.
I just think on a pure talent, they have so much talent that 31 wins is credible to me.
They have a lot of talent.
31 and 51.
Not the right coach to maybe juggle the talent.
That's a terrible team.
I think that team is going to be a sports blog manna from heaven. I think every 2 days there's going to be another story.
Well,
that's also like if you were asking me what team is going to get in a fight either during a game or in scrimmage with each other, they would be the over. I'd almost like you couldn't even put odds on it.
Yeah, you really can't put odds.
Somebody's going to punch somebody in that team. And poor Chuck Hayes, he's got to be so sad.
He still plays great defense.
Plays great defense, sets picks.
Holy, you know who he played great defense against last night?
Yeah.
D. Howard.
Yeah. Thanks for trying to score on Chuck Hayes, Dwight. That's not happening.
How about that little?
Yeah.
We'll get to the Lakers, but they tried to work the ball into him in the low post against Chuck Hayes.
You know
Chuck
what?
Hayes was having none of it.
By about January, they're going to figure out what Dwight should be doing in that team.
Are we having a disagreement on Sacramento?
Oh, this is like the first easy win I've had. You really think they're going 31-51?
Yes, that's a terrible basketball team.
This is.
And 31-51 is it's a talent. It's the 31 wins is the talent call.
It's honestly, I can't even believe like they put that team together. It's almost like if you went to an art show and somebody they took their own blood out of their body and then they peed on a piece of canvas and then threw poop on it and just like, hey, I made this piece of art.
It's very modern. It's conceived in a very modern way. They have a bunch of guys that can play though. It's all this lottery.
I agree with you.
Experience in the
but
lottery.
But they put no foresight at all into how those guys interact.
It's terrible.
It's almost like they picked a baseball team.
It's true.
It was like, we have DeMarcus Cousins going to play third base.
Yes.
And it's like, no, actually, those guys have to interact with each other and play and
I think
look
they're
out
good
for
enough
each other.
For 31. It's fine.
I love Boogie Cousins, and I had fun watching him in person last night.
Love him. I mean, he got into altercations.
He started talking to Kobe.
He talked to Kobe. He talked to Powell.
Kobe threw him down. Cousins didn't like it.
No.
And Kobe started talking. They just started talking, and then Cousins started to get that look in his eye.
He did.
And Kobe decided to let it go.
I mean, they all let it go.
I don't blame him.
I think there'll be another moment. I'm going to actually keep an eye out for the Sacramento Laker games once the season.
Well, they've
gets
always
going.
it's been. I only know this because I live here. It's always been a good rivalry, dating back to way back. Yeah. No, even when the Kings sucked.
Sure, it goes.
No,
way
but
back.
even sucky Kings have always played the Lakers well, and they'll beat them in Sacramento and stuff.
That's great.
San Antonio 55.5. Listen, this could be 20 minutes or it could be 2. I just vote we go for 2. It's just for me. It's every year they get to 56, 57, 58, and every year we think this is the year it might not happen, and then it happens again, and I'm tired of going against it.
Good. I'm not going against it.
Yeah.
I take the over.
Utah.
Yeah, they're interesting.
One San Antonio point quickly.
Go ahead.
So 2 years ago, they run into that Memphis Chainsaw, which is the worst possible team they could have played.
Yeah, that was
caught them at the worst possible time, legitimately beaten.
Right.
Last year, they're going against Oklahoma City. They win the first 2, lose the next 2. Goes San Antonio game 5. Ibaka and Perkins go 17 for 20.
Yes.
Durant is on fire in the fourth quarter. They flip the game. They win, and then they take care of business in game 6.
Yep.
It's possible San Antonio just had bad luck the last 2 years. Like, just 100% bad luck.
I mean, I think statistically and all of the metrics bear it out. That Oklahoma City performance was one for the ages in terms of an aberrational
Game 5.
Offensive performance.
That
but
game
I think
5 is like
the entire stretch. They make baskets at a rate that's kind of unprecedented for a team.
Their game 5 was an unbelievable offensive display.
Yeah.
And to get 17 out of 20 from, or maybe it was 18 and 20 with those two guys. It was something that'll
really
never happen again.
Absurd, unprecedented number.
I don't even think Perkins scored again in the playoffs. 58, they'll hang around, and it'll depend on the matchups. And what's interesting is you could argue it's going to be San Antonio and the Lakers in round 2.
Ooh.
2-3 seed in some
really
order.
Fun. That'd be really fun.
Nice old fart series.
That'd be cool.
It'd be good.
Yeah, it'd be good.
A couple veterans.
But it'd be fun to see Steve Nash up against San Antonio again.
Yeah.
Some of those old school.
The second to last one. The Utah Jazz, 43.
Yeah. So I like them slightly over. I like them at kind of 44 because I think they're going to be in there in that 7 to 8 spot.
I'm at 48.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you could talk me all the way up to 48. The only reason that I don't feel sort of stronger about a number that's closer to 50 is I just don't know Mo Williams starting point guard, Marvin Williams starting small forward, 2 brand new guys on the team.
Marvin Williams has been playing really well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good landing spot for both those guys.
I'll tell you another thing about Mo Williams. I think he's underrated now. He could not have been in a worse team for the Clippers last year. Like, he's basically a third guard. He He's bummed. I thought he was better than Chauncey Billups and wasn't playing more minutes than him, and I think he checked out and was not a great chemistry guy, to say the least.
Well,
but
still, I liked how they hedged Hayward's, trajectory with Foy. I think Foy is a credible.
Well, I watched Foy. Foy is a legitimate backup guard.
I couldn't believe it.
He's a legitimate third guard.
Time in Washington, but he definitely had a great season.
I really like this Utah team. I think they go 9 deep.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
because
that
Cantor lost so much weight, I didn't recognize him.
That front court is as good as any,
I like
young
this.
front
I like
court.
Utah.
Yeah.
I was hoping we could make them a lock.
Listen, I'll do it. I'm there.
Okay.
I'm prepared to do it.
I think that team. It's funny. Everybody's pointing to Denver as like the young, deep team that's going to be awesome, and you can make a pretty compelling case for Utah.
They're interesting.
I'm not going to do it, but I think they're going to win more than 43 games.
They also have a legitimate home court advantage.
And
they continue to have a legitimate home court advantage.
And a guy they can go to.
Yeah, and a guy they can go to.
A couple guys,
couple
actually.
Guys, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Guys that aren't afraid to touch the ball in the fourth quarter.
I feel
good about that as a lock.
Last team, Los Angeles Lakers.
We're going to end the whole thing.
58.5 wins for the Los Angeles Lakers. We saw them in person last night.
Yeah.
And people seem to think this team just pencil them in the finals. Right?
Well,
just put them right in.
I think you asked me a few weeks ago who I had in the finals. I without missing a beat, said Lakers Heat. And I'm not prepared to go against that.
Okay.
I'm going to stick by it.
All right.
But
an Oklahoma City team that is just thinks they can beat them anytime they play. And handled their business and would have swept if not for some of the craziest officiating in Game 3, the game that I went to. The league should be embarrassed for the officiating in that game. It would have been a sweep.
I think it's going to be outstanding to watch. I think it's going to be
I love it too. We were saying
last
last night, the sneaky great thing about this whole Lakers, like Gasol and Nash playing together. And everyone's paying so much attention to Howard and Kobe because Kobe's gone off the deep end and is just saying crazy things. He's feuding with Swish Parker.
Yes.
He's turning these press conferences into these like Charlie Sheen type moments now. And meanwhile, like watching Nash and Gasol, and like there was a couple high-low plays where Nash to Gasol and then the quick pass to Howard for the dunk, and you're watching and you're going, oh my God! If they ever harness this, good Lord!
And if there's a human being on the planet capable of harnessing it, Steve Nash.
Nash and Gasol together are going to be incredible to watch. And just as a basketball fan, I hate the Lakers so much. I can't even. Blood pours out of my eyes. But I love watching Gasol and I love watching Nash, and I think it's going to be awesome to watch those guys. And I can't wait to watch Kobe totally submarine it.
So there it is. I knew it was coming.
He's going to do it too.
I knew it was coming.
He's going to submarine it. He's going to do it.
You had it jammed down there.
Year 17. Oh, he's going to do it. Let me shoot, guys.
Well, here's the thing.
He's going to do it.
You may be surprised to hear this, even though I have the Lakers penciled into the final. I like them under.
I have them under as well, but I have a 57-50.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Like a half under. I think they're too
like
old.
A half under.
Here's the other thing with that. Oh,
yeah.
God.
I bet we're going to make the same point. So you go ahead.
I just don't think they're deep enough.
Yeah,
it's
I totally
like the way
agree.
they're constructed. It's like if anybody misses 20 games, they're screwed.
Their second unit remains.
God,
just unsightly, ungodly.
We were laughing.
And whatever uns you can come up with.
We were laughing when we saw Chris Duhon in the pregame warm-ups, and then he played.
And it got funnier.
Yeah.
Antoine Jameson played 18 minutes last night. Was no points and 2 rebounds.
He looked 50 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I thought on paper Jody Meeks.
Jody Meeks was a good signing by them.
Yeah. So
they're like 2 guys short, and now, you know what the thing is, they'll be able to get those guys, but for the purposes of the over/under, that doesn't help us.
I know we're in agreement on the under.
Another thing
on this, but gently under.
As anyone who plays basketball knows, it's tough to mesh with somebody right away. And what we watched last night,
right?
They were like, it was like Howard was this new car they had pulled out of their garage. They have no idea how to play with him yet.
I don't think that the fact that they're 0-6 in the preseason, I don't attribute anything to the preseason.
Right.
At all. I don't ascribe any significance or meaning to it. But it's what you're seeing is them trying out a bunch of stuff and still, they're all really finding each other. And the one thing you and I agreed about last night, the thing they can't do is what they messed with a little bit, which is posting up Dwight.
Posting up Dwight,
That's not gonna work.
Trying super hard to get him involved.
That won't work.
For me, the bread and butter of this team is Nash and Gasol. And the offense has to run through them. Howard's got to be rebounding, blocking guy, block shots guy.
Yes.
Rebounding defense, run the floor. Kobe's got to be spot up shooter / if the offense breaks down, then he can freelance do his thing / open court scorer guy. But Nash and Gasol is the heart of the team. And here's my fear with them, just from the over-under standpoint. We were laughing when we were looking at their coaching staff.
Yeah.
It's like a who's who of who hasn't done anything.
It's true.
It's like, hey, how many jobs has Bernie Bickerstaff had? 40?
I know.
Chuck Person?
Eddie Jordan's in there.
Eddie Jordan?
Yeah.
Mike Brown?
Yeah, a lot of
guys. I mean, Nash can coach the offense, but...
and Dwight Howard's going to coach the defense.
I guess.
I mean, here's the thing.
We should mention one other Dwight Howard thing.
Go ahead.
This is a very important point. Dwight Howard came out of the game in the first quarter, and he went to sit in his chair.
He did.
And some lackey came in with this foam cushion that was like...
It looked like an inflated... It looked like an inflatable, like a half a ball thing.
I thought he was putting like the biggest whoopee cushion anyone's ever made for Howard to sit down and make a huge fart noise. It was this big. It was a foot
huge.
big.
It's had him sitting up like 2 feet higher than everybody else.
Yeah, he was sitting 2 feet higher.
He's the king, the new king.
It was like
king of LA.
It was like something your grandfather would have in the nursing home.
That's something I wish I had right now after sitting here all 2 hours today. The thing I still have my doubts and questions about, the meta thing. I mean, can
there was a lot of meta last night.
He has to play. I mean,
has to play.
Who else?
Looks like he's in
that
shape.
Role for him. He does, and he looks locked down. But I mean,
I actually think
really
they're going to miss Matt Barnes a little bit.
I agree.
He had a good year last year.
He wasn't expendable. I mean, they didn't replace him with Jody Meeks as how they replaced him. I don't know. I mean,
the thing though is like, you remember like people were debating about buying him Howard, like what?
Yes.
It's like, once you saw it in person, it's a no-brainer.
Oh my gosh.
It's just a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And Howard seems super happy.
Yeah. He's motivated.
I think it's going to be very interesting to see how Kobe handles this. Like even like yesterday, we were watching the game, and somebody got technical in Sacramento. No surprise, it's a team of lunatics. So Watfo, somebody got technical, and Nash shot the free throw, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
That was significant.
Yeah,
Why?
so did the Laker fan next to me, because that's Kobe's free throw. It's the chicken leg.
I know, but
it's like Dad gets the big chicken leg at dinner.
Because he's
extra point a game.
He's shooting for Kareem's record still?
It's just an extra point a game. It's his team. You shoot the free throw. And Nash shot the free throw, and I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Here's what we need to look out for then. Who shoots that free throw once the regular season starts? Maybe it was just Nash, because Nash scored 6 points
Nash is
night.
one of the 4 greatest free throw shooters in the history of basketball.
There's that as well.
So I think he should probably shoot it. I just thought it was interesting. Like, yeah. And then you watch there. There was.
Does that mean that Kobe's sharing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I thought that was interesting. I thought we watched. There was one stretch where Kobe didn't really touch the ball for like 3 minutes, and then when he got it, and we were just laughing, like, "Oh, it's going up! It's going up! Here it goes!"
Yeah.
And he took a shot with 3 guys on him. I think that's going to be interesting. And then we watched the end of the game, and they were down 1.
Yeah.
Nash dribbled underneath, couldn't find anybody, dribbled around. Kobe's standing there with his hands up. Nash dribbles back, circles back, and does a little floater and misses it.
I mean, it's a floater that he hits 70% of the time, I bet.
The last 4 years, last 7 years, whatever, any situation like that, everybody in that team deferred to Kobe and passed it to him.
Yeah.
And now it's like, all right, Nash is going to take a couple of those. So I'm not saying he can't handle it. I'm just saying it's going to be an interesting subplot.
It's a good subplot. It's going to be
and he's got the
fascinating.
He's got the scoring record in the back of his head, but he also has the titles and the 6 rings in the back of his head.
The titles mean more than the scoring record.
No question. No question.
So I think that's where you're looking for the Kobe submarine. I'm looking for the Kobe sublimate. I think he's going to be able to mesh.
I think he's running the gamut of emotions.
Oh, the gamut of emotions.
I think Dwight Howard's getting a lot of attention. I think Nash and Gasol, the big winner is Pau Gasol.
The biggest winner.
The big 2012-2013 winner is Pau Gasol. Period. Out of anybody on any team. Could have been on Houston. Could have been thrown into that Orlando trade.
Sure.
Could have been rerouted to Philly or somewhere.
Or Denver.
Could have been whatever.
Denver would have been okay.
He gets to play with Steve Nash.
Yeah.
He gets to be on the high post, which is where he loves to be.
It makes
and then
the most sense for
sometimes go down the the low post. Sorry.
Yeah.
He gets to kind of switch spots with Dwight. On high post, he can throw that little pass thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about rebounding that much.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's just fantastic.
Big winner. It really is.
And he was also 5 inches taller than Dwight Howard.
He is much taller than Dwight Howard.
He's much taller than Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard is 6'8".
No, he's 6'9".
Okay, 6'9".
He might be 6'9.5".
He is not.
He's 4 inches smaller than Dwight Howard.
He's much shorter.
Than Pau Gasol.
He is
He's
much
6'9"
shorter
now.
than Pau Gasol.
So we both go under on that. So to recap, we have. Do you want to make Dallas a lock? I'm a little afraid of Dirk.
We need one more lock because we only have 4 locks.
Well, we only had 2 from the other one. Oh, you for 7 locks total?
The whole thing. No, we only have 4 locks on this whole. Oh no, we have 5. We're good with locks. We needed an odd
Houston
number
under
of locks.
29.5. We agree on that.
Yeah.
New Orleans over 27. We agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Utah over 43. We agree on that.
Yeah.
Let's stay away from Dallas.
I had.
Let's stay away from Rick Carlisle. We don't have to agree on that. And then Toronto and Atlanta. Toronto, Atlanta. So we got 5.
Toronto, Atlanta, Utah, New Orleans,
and Houston.
Houston.
We'll stay away from Dallas.
Yeah, stay away from.
So
Dallas.
those are our 5.
Yeah.
And then the ones we disagreed on: Golden State. You liked over 36. I liked under.
Yeah.
Memphis 49. I liked under. You liked over.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City 60.5. You liked under. I liked over.
By a half.
Still, you liked it.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
Portland. I like the over, 34.5. You like the under.
Yeah.
I got you back, Portland. And then Sacramento. This is the part of the podcast where the coffee stopped kicking in.
31 and 51. Is that too much to ask?
That team is a chemistry train wreck.
It's a science experiment gone bad.
I have the under for them. And so the ones we disagree on are the Boston, Orlando, Philly, Golden State, Memphis, Oklahoma City, Portland, Sacramento. 8.
Oh,
we
so
have
we
8
kept,
disagreements.
We kept the Boston.
Yeah, we kept it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm good with it. I'll stay by it. 8. Do we need one more? That's an even number, so we're likely to go 4 and 4. We have to have an odd number of disagreements.
All right, so
there has to be a winner.
Let's set a total for Minnesota.
Oh, awesome.
Want to go 40 and you go over, I go under?
I'm not going over.
39.5?
Yeah, I'm not taking the over on Minnesota. I don't like Minnesota.
Are you going under?
Yes, I would take the under on Minnesota.
Yeah.
You take the over on Minnesota.
Why don't you go over on the Clips?
I don't like the Clips. I deducted front office points.
I will give you 46 and over for the Clips, and I'll take 46 and under.
46 and over?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
All right, that'll be our tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's our tiebreaker.
Joe House, let's go feed you. You're like an animal.
I'm starving, by the way.
And then we're gonna go see a
preseason
basketball game. Yeah, we're taping this on a Monday, but yeah. Joe House, a pleasure. Thank you for your 2.5 hours of over-under time.
I hope America enjoys this holiday.
We should have done the over-under for hours for this podcast. It would have been 2.5, and I think we went over.
Yeah, we get over. Sorry.
Thank you, America. You can actually watch me on the NBA Shoot-Around show. Doubleheader, preseason, October 26th, Friday.
I'll watch.
Miami and New Orleans.
Ooh.
And then you can get to hear me rehash some of these points.
This is great.
And then Denver, Phoenix.
2 very great, interesting games. At this point, everything's interesting.
Denver, Phoenix is kind of half interesting.
You want to see Phoenix, right? We have this perception in our head. Let's go see him play some basketball.
It's going to be me, Jalen, and Wilbon.
Great one.
Yeah. I have a plan. I'm gonna spike Wilbon's drink between the 2 games.
Here's what I'm worried about with you.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Getting punchy?
No. What are you gonna do about the handshake?
Oh, I'm working on it. Jalen, I'm going to
handshake lessons.
I'm going to handshake school. Jalen's gonna take me to handshake school. We're gonna film it for the YouTube channel. I just need to know.
Yeah, you do. Then
it's like dancing. Somebody's got to lead and somebody's got to follow. My problem is I always try to lead and it goes bad, right. So I'll get it. Yeah. What I do now is I just grab a hand, I just pull in for the immediate chest bump. Yeah, that's my move.
That's safe.
It's a safe one.
It is.
Yeah. Joe House, we can read you on Twitter, House from DC. You can hear House complain about the Wizards all year. Okafor reads all those people. Thanks again.
My pleasure.
so I get to sign off. Whoa!
Thank you for downloading the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Too much fun.
Check out more podcasts at the iTunes Music Store or at Pod Center at ESPNradio.com.
Peace out.